Hello. I'd like to honor today a dear departed friend of mine, Pastor Lawrence Sami. Pastor Lawrence was born in Fiji but has lived a substantial portion of his life in Auckland in New Zealand. Pastor Lawrence was leading some work on the courts of heaven at the time of his passing, and it fell on my shoulders to continue that teaching to the group. Now, must admit I wasn't that familiar with the concept of the courts of heaven, and I did some research into Robert Henderson's work in that space. And I believe Robert Henderson is a very sincere man, but one must always be cautious, and I caution you against radical theology which departs very much from, the standard approach that we take in the church. So while I admit that there's certain terminology like antidikos, which in Greek, Revelations 12:10 speaks about the accuser of the brethren, and the original Greek for that is antidikos, which literally means someone who brings a legal case against you. And we know that Satan constantly accuses us, and we get those little jibes and those little pricks in the day in terms of conscience, and that's the accusation. So understand that there is an anti-advocate out there attacking us, and also the other pillar that Robert Henderson built his thinking on was the book of Daniel, where it speaks about the courts being in session and the Lord our God seated as judge. And I understand that it is easy to attempt to bring those different concepts together, but for me, the courts are a broader prospect. A king in ancient times would hold court. People would come into his court to discuss their problems and discuss legal cases and that sort of thing. So while a lot of the thinking behind the courts of heaven is legitimate, I believe that we need to stand strong in our conventional faith and use elements of this thinking to enhance where we are. But I don't believe that everything that is espoused in that particular philosophy is entirely accurate. He goes on later to start talking about the trading floors of heaven, and brings a lot of secular thinking into a Christian view of the world. So just be cautious. I'm not saying that it's a bad philosophy. All I'm saying is be cautious always of anything that departs from our understanding, and seek always the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Let the Holy Spirit guide you in what is right and what is wrong. Bless you in all things.